Hello and welcome back to Rich's Home Mechanics, and thank you for coming on my channel. Let's start the job and get this little mini quad running, shall we? Right, let's get on with this, shall we? First what we're going to do is we are going to remove this cover to gain access. Simple 4 bolts which I've already undone. 1, 2, 3, 4. That comes off, job done. Just by doing that, you can see how much room we've created to work in. We can gain access to the plug and we can gain access to the carburetor. Right, what we're going to do now is we are going to see if there's fuel getting through. So let's put that there. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to give it 3 or 4 pumps and just see if the fuel's getting through. I've turned the fuel on, there's a little bit of fuel in that tank. Right, I normally use a socket to undo these spark plugs because you don't want to break them, but unfortunately there's not a lot of room in there, so we've got to use a 19mm spanner. So we're gently going to top that off. There we go. Right, here we go. Right, look at that. Smell it. No fuel. If there was fuel getting in there, it'd be very, very strong and it's bone dry. So we've not got fuel. So that's stage 1 done. We will need to be looking at that carbo regardless. But we will carry on, and while we're here, let's see if we've got a spark. So we know we've definitely got no fuel. Let's put the old plug in. Now when you put the plug in, it needs to be earthed on the body or normally on the head somewhere. So going to push that in there. Now I can see that. You probably won't see this because it's too light in here, but let's have a go. Now I can see what you're looking for is a lovely, lovely blue, not yellow, but a nice blue sharp spark. Perfect. So far, let's just take that plug out of the way, put stuff away safely. So now we know we've definitely got no fuel through, so we have got an issue with the fuel getting in there, possibly the carburetor, and we have got a spark. What I'm going to do now, I think the compression's all right on there, because when I was pulling it over, there is plenty of compression, and I've done enough of these to know these little engines that I think it's good. But let's do it. Let's show you how you do it. If you was doing this at home and you got a little compression tester, you'd be doing what I'm doing. So let's actually do the test and just prove that there is compression good enough to start this. Need to remove the tank. It's very simple. There's a fuel pipe. I've already undone the bolt that holds the little tank. There's a little grub bolt, a little Allen key in there. I've already done that. I pulled the fuel pipe off. Look at that. Cool. I wish my van tank was as small as that and did that amount of miles to the gallon. Put it out of the way. Don't need that. Right, now that is beautiful. I can now gain access to the top of the barrel, and we can put a compression test in it. Now, this is what they call a compression tester. Now, you can buy cheap ones on eBay, and they'll probably do the job, but if I was spending a lot of money on an engine, I probably wouldn't trust them. I bought a snap-on one. These are quality. You know, you're going to get what it says is normally what it is. So we're going to put this on and we'll see what pressure we've got on here. All right. These come with different adapters, so we need to find the right adapter. They literally just screw in different size threads. Look at that. First time. Things are looking up. You just screw it in, don't have to be really tight. This clips in here like this, just very gently. Right, that's the compression tester. Hopefully I can hold it and pull it at the same time. Really need an assistant, but I'm on my own today, so let's have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, normally about 5 or 6. 5, 6. Now look at that. We've got a compression there of nearly 80 psi. Now that is more than enough to start this. If it was about 50 to 40, maybe there's something going on in the engines, the piston's gone or the ring's gone or it's just worn, but we can tick that off the box. I'm happy that that is good. We've got good compression, we've got good spark, but still no fuel. What you do on here, watch this, safety, release the pressure. And that's as simple as that. That's a compression test. I know not many people have compression testers, but they're a really good bit of kit to get. And they can tell you the condition of an engine. And basically, the only other way to test that engine would be to take it apart and get your feeder gauges and do the wearing and the tear and compare it with readings which it should be. That's long-winded. Simple compression tester has told us straight away this engine is good. Right, so let's take this away. Unscrew that. Look after your tools. The old saying, look after tools, they look after you. I spend a lot of money on tools and I want to look after them. Right, get back on my knees again. I'm used to that. Recap. Spark, we've got a spark. Tick it off. Compression. We've got compression, 80 psi, more than good enough for that. That's a really good reading. I'm happy with that. This engine's good. Tick it off. Got no fuel. So do you know where we're going? That carburetor is coming off. Let's crack on and get this carb off and get it cleaned. Time for a quick drink before we carry on, before we get that carb. Ah, magic, you can't drink beet coffee. Right, let's crack on. Right. We need to get this carburetor off. I know it's really hard to see. The issue is if I bring the camera over, I'm going to obstruct it with my hand. So I'm going to try my best and explain what I'm actually doing. First of all, we've got to take the air filter off. Little socket. That's done. One air filter. Now, you'll see me smell a lot of things. Now, I've looked at that. That is coked with oil, look. So that has got oil in there, yeah? So what happens when you start an engine, that sits on the back, and when you turn an engine, it sucks air in. And if there's oil in there, it's going to suck the oil in as well. So that is never going to start. So we're going to have to clean that air filter out as well. So just by fault finding what we're doing, we are really heading towards that this has got a problem with the carburation, because look at that. It's absolutely coated with oil in there. And what will happen is that will change the mixture of the fuel, which will make it more oil, and it's never going to start. It's going to block up the jets, and it's going to just block up the spark plug as well. So we've definitely, I think, heading in the right direction for this being a non-starter. Let's put this down. Right, that's the filter off. Right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the camera over quickly so we can have a look just there and see what we're doing before we go any further. If you can see there, see how thick that is? We are going to be undoing them two screws there, 1, 2, and hopefully we'll get that carburetor off. I just wanted to show you what I'm actually doing. There's not a lot of room in there, but yeah, we'll get this carburetor off, shall we? Put it back up. Here we go. Right, let's carry on. So I need a torch, an inspection torch. Here I have one I prepared earlier. Again, if you're setting up your tools, get a nice inspection torch. And if you are undoing screws, I've tried to stress it, don't buy cheap tools, don't buy cheap screwdriver. Probably only going to get one shot at undoing this carburetor. Use the proper tool. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to set the torch up there so I can see. That's absolutely beautiful. Never worked on one of these carburetors before. This is new to me. I've had a look round. It looks like it's the way it comes off, but I can definitely tell that is absolutely coated with oil in there. So let's have a look. One there. Nearly there. Just be careful, don't want to strip the threads. Doesn't look like anyone's been there before me, which is a good sign. because these are fresh. Right, here we go. There is quite a long thread on there, to be honest. Let's have a look. Right, okay. I'm going to lay these out as it comes off, so I know that goes like that. Most important, as you take it off, lay it off as it comes off. So when you reassemble, it's just like a puzzle. It goes on the opposite the way it come on. Right, so we're going access to that. Now that looks like that carburetor. Oh, I can absolutely see that is absolutely soaked with oil. Absolutely, that was never going to start in a million years. This is going to need a damn good clean up, and I'm guessing that the fuel filter is going to be the same. So it looks like there's a couple of Allen keys holds this on, so let's have a look. Right, what have we done with that? Have we put the Allen key down is the question. Yes, we have. Right, is this one? No, that's too big. Size down. Hopefully it's this one. Now it looks like it's just two Allen keys holding this carby on. Right, I need to get a good bite on this. Here we go. Find the best position, which I'm going to go from underneath. Cracked. Yep, beautiful. That's done. Another word of advice: when you're undoing things, loosen them up together. Don't just undo this to one side. Loosen it up and then go to the other one and then loosen it up, because what's happened, not so much on these, but sometimes if you was doing a head or something that's very fragile, you could crack it. So slowly catch your monkey, a little bit on the left bolt or the left Allen key, a little bit on the right Allen key, and just undo them gradually together. And then what I'm going to do now, I've loosened it and I'm going to do a little test. Yeah, that's definitely holding the carburetor on. And I'll also be very careful how these gaskets sit on here. So let's spin this off. I reckon this is going to be a nice little runner. You know, it doesn't seem to be a lot wrong with it. I think it's just this carb is going to need a damn good clean. What we will do is we'll get this carb off, and we'll probably do that as stage 1 video, part 1 of the video, and part 2 will be the actual cleaning of it. Right, we've released it now. I've just got to have a quick drink because I'm really spitting feathers here. Oh, can't beat it. Cup of coffee, hang on. Right, I've released the carburetor. What have we got holding it? Right, we've got a fuel pipe. The carburetor has to be fed by the tank. So let's pop this off. Quite often they're held with a little clip. Sometimes you get a Jubilee clip, but often if they're original, there'll be like a little spring. So you get your pliers and you close it like that and lift the clip up. Exactly what I'm going to do. She's up. And if you've watched my videos before, a good purchase is some pry bars of all different sizes. That's the smallest one I've got. Absolutely use this all the time. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pry the pipe up. By doing that, if you've got hold of the pipe and pulled it, you could snap a bit on the carburetor, especially if it's plastic. All I do is where the pipe is, I'll get it underneath. I either lever it like that or I just push it off. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to push this pipe off. I don't want no damage because I want to keep the cost down to a minimum on here. And hopefully we could get away with just a carb clean. Right, pipe's off. All we've got left now is to disconnect the float. Let's have a look. Cool, I'll tell you what, I've got a little bit of fuel leak in here and it absolutely reeks. Absolutely. So I need to get a little pair of pliers on that. Now, you're watching me live. I'm not making nothing up. If I come up against any problems, you will see them. There's no point keep editing the video and thinking, oh, on this video I'm such a good mechanic, etc. This is live, so this is how it happens in real life. Right, I've loosened that. In a minute, we should have the carburetor out. Oh, I can really smell the absolutely oil smell here. There's no fuel in this. It's absolutely full of two-stroke oil. This is the importance. You must empty these tanks. Here we go. And that is it, folks. We just keep this. I just want to keep this all together so I know where we are. Oh, look. I will show you this, folks. Now that is the carburetor. It's as simple as that. To release it, we undid these two Allen keys. It sits on the bike like that, or the quad, and it pulls off. Fuel pipe on the top, and that's what we call the float, the slider, sorry. Now, I can't gain access to it, it's really tucked up. But this carburetor, I will show you my hands, absolutely covered with two-stroke oil. Yeah, that is two-stroke. So this bike was never going to start. Let's just get down a bit. Right, so what we're going to do, this is the carburetor. I'm going to end this video now. I think we've done enough on this video, on this bit. And video 2 of the mini quad, get it right, will be cleaning this carburetor. We're going to take it apart, and I will show you how I personally do it, using a carb cleaner and what they call carb files. They're basically very small bits of wire, but they're a file, and you very gently clean the jets out. But that will be in part 2. So anyway, thank you for watching the part 1. Please follow me on YouTube, Richard Home Mechanics, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next stage of this little mini quad. Thank you ever so much for watching and subscribing. It really is appreciated. Catch you soon. Bye.